Kia ora. Welcome. Ko Lucy tōku ingoa. My name's Lucy. And this is an orientation to the VLN Primary School for our new learners and your teachers and other support people. So we're learning today about how to communicate in our online class and how to use our online tools. Over 50 schools from all over New Zealand participate in our online classes from places as remote as the Chatham Islands and Stewart Island and schools in the towns and cities. Here's some of our e-teachers. We've got Lisa, who teaches Mandarin, Madeline, who teaches Spanish, Jen, who teaches design, financial literacy and math, from Michelle, who teaches German, got Kuka Jules, who teaches Te Reo and Kapahaka, and Carolyn, who teaches visual arts, myself, Lucy, teaching digital technologies, Joe, teaching sign language, Madam Makareth, teaching French and Spanish, and Olivia, teaching Japanese, Alia, for mathematics, and Sunny, who teaches Korean. So as you can see, with these learning choices, quite a few, and what we recommend that you do is create learning goals and share them with your online teacher, your classroom teacher, and your family. So your virtual classroom needs a physical space. It needs to be quiet, with a webcam, your timetable and the Zoom URL on the wall, and everything to hand, bookmarked on your computer. And we recommend that you're organised and you check your setup about 10 minutes ahead of time. You don't need to have a computer each unless you have super fast broadband. But the important thing is that you're close to the audio source and microphone and that you're careful about audio feedback. So that's things like muting when you go into the classroom. So the online tools that you'll be using is Zoom, that you're watching this meeting on, where your e-teacher will be in the little corner like this. Google Classroom, super easy to use if you haven't used it before. This presentation, which you will get a copy of, has a little video with information about how to do that. Your Google Classroom account will be shared, your classroom will be shared with your teacher, there where you are as well as your e-teacher, so that your usual teacher can see how you're going and what sort of things you're learning at the moment. You've got email, you'll get email to the school or Gmail account, you'll be using Google Docs, and your e-teacher may use YouTube or Voki, which is voice, or Kahoot or Quizlet for online quizzes. So you've got some features for your Zoom classroom. If the toolbar disappears and you move the mouse towards the bottom of the screen, like just there, that will make it appear again, or you can touch the screen if you're on a mobile device to make that appear. Some of the other features on your Zoom classroom is you can mute. See this little button here? Mute the sound from where you are. You can stop the video, so your video that you're busy sharing. So each of those options, you can mute and unmute, stop and start that video. You can give feedback, so you might need to raise your hand for the e-teacher. There's a chat, and the chat, you can use the chat to ask questions or to make relevant comments. Online classes just a little bit more structured, so in terms of needing to take turns for talking, so it can seem a bit funny until you get used to it. You've got buttons here to leave the meeting, to make the screen maximised, or to press escape again to double click and exit the full screen mode. So you have a bit of, you can manage what you see on the screen and how that works for you. And you can see here, same with viewing, you might have the whole screen of your e-teacher or the person that's speaking, or you might have a gallery view with a lot of different people, whichever one is best for your learning at the time. And other times that your e-teacher will be busy sharing the screen, like I'm doing for this presentation now. So if you use several devices in the one room, you have to be careful about your audio and the feedback. You only want to connect the audio sound for one device. So for the other devices, you can turn off the audio by muting and selecting mute and that little up arrow like in the picture here, and leaving the computer audio. You do want to make sure you sit close to the microphone when you speak, and again, if a number of you have got a device, you want to mute your audio until it's your turn to talk and sit as far away from the other devices as possible to avoid feedback. And if you can, you might be able to use headphones like these, or the microphone, or other sort of headphones. So in the classroom, to help your learning and other learners, it's best to sit still, keep your face and shoulders in the frame. If you've got a laptop, put it on a table so it stays still, not your knees. Or if you're using a mobile device, keep it still. Otherwise, it can be a bit distracting for the other learners. There's a wee video here about Google Classroom. I won't play it now, but when you get a copy of this presentation later, you're welcome to go through that. So as part of a group online, if you listen really carefully and focus, and back we saw in Zoom how to put up your hand in Zoom to ask a question during the chat. And for the first few lessons, say your name so that the e-teacher can learn your name. We take turns talking and we encourage you to speak up. We'd like to hear from each and every one of you when it's your turn. So for learning devices, make sure that your device is charged and put it back ready for someone else. And you can use the same device every time. So if you do use the same device every time, it's a good idea to bookmark the Zoom URL so that you can join that class. And we've got this one URL here, vlnprimary.zoom.us. And if you use that, you'll go into our main page and then you'll be able to select your class. So everyone goes in through that URL first, that link. The Maori mahi, Maori ora. So you do the work, you get the treats, because you're responsible for your learning here. So we're encouraging you to set learning goals for yourself, because the 30 minutes in the Zoom class, as well as that, you're going to need at least another 30 minutes of your own self-directed time. It might be homework in the week, just to manage your learning and do make the very best of it. And we recommend you to practice what you've learned and ask for help if you need it. So we won't know unless you tell us, and to share your learning with your classroom teacher and your friends and your whānau. Communication is really important, so check your emails. Respond to those messages from your e-teacher and get in touch as soon as possible if you cannot attend, or afterwards if you've missed a class, because we'll be trying to share that learning with you, so let you know what it was and how you can, what you can do to catch up on that. And of course, making all your online interactions respectful of learners. So we have here a printable support poster with information about how you can access different bits of support that you might need for it. We look forward to meeting you online. Ka kite.